It's that if anyone's ever been through heartbreak before,
which we all have.
Which, pretty much everyone has been through on some level. You feel it in your hearts. Like you literally can feel it, the pain, the discomfort there. So I think when we start thinking about it, it's like, oh yeah, that's in our body. Like something's happened up here in our mind. We've perceived it a certain way, and then our body is expressing a symptom of that. So I think this is a really good point to talk about some of these practical things that people can start doing to help themselves. I mean, frankly, the things you're talking about are helpful for anyone, but can we start with yoga, right? I know yoga is something you talk about as a really fantastic way for many people to start feeling that safety within their bodies. How did you come across yoga, and why do you think it's so effective for so many people?
Well, these things are usually an issue of accident, that you happen to meet somebody who does yoga and who says, come and do yoga class with me. And then you do that. And then you feel that your body feels calmer and your mind is more focused afterwards. And you say, oh, that's interesting. So I went to National Institute of Mental Health and got the money to study yoga as a way of calming that body down. But now people say, oh, yoga is a treatment of choice. I don't know. Maybe for some other people, Qigong may be better, or Tai Chi, or some other musical practice. But for me, going into yoga was really a way of exploring to what degree people can change their relationship to their bodily sensations. And yoga turned out to be very good for that. And certainly it's not the only way. A study I still love to do someday is see how tango dancing works for trauma. Theoretically, that would make a lot of sense as being a really good trauma treatment, actually. And what I see all the time is that the people who are in my life who are traumatized, they go and start exploring different things that help them. And some people find it, let's say, acupuncture is very helpful. Other people say it doesn't do a thing for me. So we don't know precisely what is right for whom, but it's very important for us to have an open mind about, and you need to have an open mind for yourself also, to really see what can help me to feel alive in the body that I live in.
To make sure you're taking action after watching this video, I've created a free breathing guide that's going to help you reduce stress, calm your mind, and boost your energy. In this guide, I share with you 6 really simple breathing practices that work immediately. Even just 1 minute a day will start to make a big difference. To receive your free guide, all you have to do is click on the link in the description box below. So is that the commonality then? You mentioned a few things there. Let's say yoga and Qigong, for example. You're saying that for many people who are traumatized, they don't feel safe in their body. They don't experience everything that's happening within their body. They shut down in certain ways. And you're saying one method that may work for some people is through something like yoga or Qigong or martial arts, for example. What is it that's going on? You're starting to connect to your body. You're starting to connect to your breath. And how do you put it? What do you think may be happening there that's helpful?
What happens there is that you are stuck in the stress response syndrome. And for example, when you start breathing more slowly and more deeply and you change your breath, you change your heart rate variability, which is a way of measuring how the heart and the central nervous system relate to each other. And then you get a sense of relief and openness once you are able to do things that calm that system down. And so initially, having somebody work with your breath, you go like, I don't want to do that. And then if you learn to breathe much more slowly and much more deeply, you get a sense of, oh, I feel calmer, I feel clearer. And what you do actually at this point is you open up some pathways in the brain between your parts of your frontal lobe and your insula, a part of your brain that's connected with your bodily sensations. And you open up new pathways of self-experience, basically.
Yeah. It's so fascinating. I know when I was reading the section on treatment in your book, after you wrote about what trauma is, you said when you're starting to treat trauma, there was one part where you spoke about these four things that need to happen. One, you need to find a way to become calm and focused. Two, you need to be able to maintain that calm in response to things and events and people that trigger you to the past. Then the third thing I think was being present. You have to find a way of being present in your life and with the people in your life. And then the fourth thing there was you have to not keep secrets from yourself. Now, the reason I bring that up there.
Thank you. I had forgotten those 4 parts. That's great.
It was really beautiful the way you wrote about it in your book. And I think what you just said about yoga there speaks to the first one there, which is number one, you've got to find a way to become calm and focused.
Yeah.
So for people who are traumatized, who feel stuck, who won't go into certain parts of their body, who don't want to do certain poses or positions because it doesn't feel good, it sounds as though what you're saying is that when people can find some sort of practice that helps them feel safe in their body, whether it's yoga or something else, that it's going to start to help them experience what does calm feel like. Because I guess many of these people don't actually know what it feels like to be calm, even for just 10 or 15 minutes, right?
But I think what people mainly learn is how to cut off their feelings. Many people learn to not feel. And of course, psychiatry is very good at it also because things like Prozac make you feel less.
Yeah.
And so you get less overwhelmed by your feelings, but by blunting your feelings, you also lose your capacity for pleasure and enjoyment.
Yeah.
So a very common adaptation to trauma is to just shut yourself down and becoming that uptight person that manages somehow to make it through your day. But it's in order to recover, you need to open up these pathways of self-experience, and that you need somebody who really gently helps you to reconnect with yourself. Yeah.
I think you published a study, did you not, on yoga and PTSD from recollection?
Three of them. Yeah.
What do they show?
They show that if you do yoga for 8 or 12 weeks, that your PTSD scores go down. We did some neuroimaging, and we see some new linkages in the brain coming online, particularly having to do with areas of the brain having to do with self-experience, self-sensory experience. And what the study showed is that when people do yoga, they are more open to being with other people, less frightened of being with other people, and less afraid of themselves, most of all.
Yeah. Wow. Very, very powerful. It's interesting.
But I want to say, it's really, then people say, oh, yoga is the answer. No, yoga was a paradigm that helped us to understand how engaging with your body in a particular way is helpful, but it's not the final word on the story. Huh?
Yeah, I love that. I mean, that is speaking to my heart. You're really touching on, I think, one of the big problems I see around today in terms of thinking about how we treat people with chronic health problems, whether it's trauma or anything else. It's like, what does that narrow reductionist study show us? Oh, great. Oh, it worked in that study. Okay, great. That means that's the treatment for every patient. And it's like, if you see real people with real problems, you realize that actually there's no one size fits all. Like for someone that might be brilliant, but for someone else, it isn't the right thing for them. But I feel like I say this a few times on the podcast. I think science is important. It's very important. But I think we make inferences and we draw conclusions that we then think are applicable to all. Whereas, as you say, that just simply showed us that this paradigm here, therapies like yoga, which help us experience our bodies more, have the potential to help.
So, but in my travels, I meet a lot of people who claim that they do amazing things by doing, let's say, equine therapy, working with horses, and I say, interesting. And so I collect these people, and on our website, the Trauma Research Foundation website, we have these people talk about their system sometimes, and then we do need the evidence.